Lewis Gregory grabbed the best figures of his career of 6 for 47, but Marcus Trescothick decided against enforcing the follow-on after Northamptonshire once again found themselves in a position where it could be enforced on the second day of their LV County Championship match with Somerset at Wantage Road. Somerset had one wicket in hand when they resumed their first innings on 366 for 8, and Alfonso Thomas and George Dockrell added 9 more runs to that before the latter was well grasped by Adam Rossington behind the stumps of Andrew Hall. So, with Craig Keyswetter out of this match after suffering a broken nose and cheekbone after taking a ball from David Willey in the face on day 1, Somerset were all out for 375. And after James Middlebrook had struck an early boundary in reply, the visitors' replacement keeper, Alex Barrow, grabbed a catch to give Gregory the first of his 6 wickets. Middlebrook, who as acting captain had allowed Barrow to take the gauntlets, was out for 5 and was soon followed back to the pavilion by Richard Levy, who also edged Gregory but was this time held by James Hildreth in the slips. That left Northamptonshire on 16 for 2 and another poor batting performance looked on the cards. However, James Kettleborough has shown some fight since being introduced into this team, and now at the top of the order in place of the injured Stephen Peters, he played 1 or 2 encouraging shots for his team. But with a total on 45, he lost Rob Newton at the other end after Gregory switched ends to have him LBW for 10. Peter Trigo then surprised Matt Spriegel on the stroke of lunch with a bouncer that the batsman could only fend away to Nick Compton after making 11. And 65 for 4 became 71 for 5 after the break when Kettleborough nicked off to Craig Overton to go for 29. Northamptonshire have been beaten by an innings 6 times this season, and such a start suggested that could happen again. Rossington decided to fight fire with fire, and the on-loan player from Middlesex, making his championship debut for Northamptonshire, twice whipped Overton for 6s with almost identical shots. This was only the 10th first-class game of Rossington's career. He played 3 times for Middlesex earlier in the season, and he looked impressive as he raced to a 41-ball 48, made out of a 6th-wicket stand of 73 with Kyle Kurtzer. But Rossington then dragged a wide ball from Thomas back onto his stumps to leave with his side on 144 for 6, still 82 runs away from the follow-on avoidance target. Northamptonshire were looking to Kurtzer to get them past 226. He made 37. But with a total at 159, he was the 7th man to fall, Gregory keeping Barrow busy with his 4th wicket. And it was 5 for Gregory in his next over as Hall nicked to Trescothick to give the 22-year-old bowler his 3rd 5-wicket haul and his 2nd of what has been a good summer for the youngster when fit. Northamptonshire were left in trouble again on 160 for 8, but Willey is a man who scored plenty of runs in the lower order for his county. He got going by planting Dockrell over the rope for a 6. But Gregory was unstoppable at the other end. He pitched one in short to bowl Ollie Stone off the body to grab a 6th wicket in an innings for the first time in his career. He should have had a 7th, but Barrow dropped Azarullah. Stone departed with a score on 188 for 9, which left the last pair 38 runs to get to make sure that Somerset batted next. Willey held the key. He powered Overton away for his 3rd 6, having struck one off Gregory in the previous over. On his way to an excellent 50, which arrived with another maximum of Thomas. The all-rounder's half-century was made off only 42 deliveries, with 4 6s and 5 4s included. He'd taken his side to within one more big hit of avoiding the follow-on. That big hit came after Thomas switched to around the wicket. Barrow took the catch and Somerset began to walk off, forgetting to appeal. Eventually, though, Willey was on his way for 53. Northamptonshire had been dismissed for 221 to trail by 154 runs, but after bowling for 59 overs and the game only completing 5 sessions, Trescothick decided to bat again, only to quickly fall LBW to Willey. Then Compton went in the same way off Azarullah in the next over to leave the visitors on 5 for 2, effectively 5 for 3 with Keyswetter left to take selfies of his nasty injury. Northamptonshire had shown plenty of fight on this day, but they were now held up by Chris Jones and Colin Ingram, who started to add to the already substantial lead with some fine shots. With so much time left in this match and the weather forecast seemingly okay for the remainder, Somerset were in no rush. That didn't mean that Jones didn't go after the ball if it was there to hit. He drove Middlebrook over the top for a 6 as the visitors looked to finish off the day strongly. Alas for them, they lost Ingram for 37 to what turned out to be the last ball of the day, Middlebrook winning a third LBW decision in this innings. So Somerset ended day 2 on 72 for 3, and that gives them a very handy lead of 226 runs at the halfway stage of this contest. They will look to build on that on the third day before setting their hosts an imposing target as they try to avoid a 9th defeat from 11 LV County Championship matches this summer.